past weekend, we just had some big super matches going down. We always got to talk about when John Brzenk, the GOAT, pulls. And he just had a big super match against Pablo. They went both hands, right and left. Did you get a chance to see that video?
Yeah, I did. John just, we all know, I don't need to suck him off too much, but we all know that John's the greatest of all time. But something really specific to me lately has really stood out with how John is top rolling people. And I'm trying to figure it out. Like I've analyzed the way John pulls for a long time, and that's where my high hook came from. Is trying to figure out why he does that and how to master it. And I found an angle where I'm pulling at it has a lot to do with how John pulls. I just do it a little faster, but what he's doing lately has been tripping me out. His wrist is actually slightly inverted when he top rolls. It's such a trip. Like I need to have my wrist at the very minimum flat or slightly cupped, right? John is top rolling with his wrist backwards, and he's allowing some of his opponents with his wrist back to hit him, and he's able to roll and top roll these guys with his wrist back. And I'm trying to figure out how he does that. It's a trip. I don't know how anybody can be that strong with the wrist slightly back like that.
Give me an example of somebody that he recently did that to. Was that when he went against Chance Shore? Was that one of the styles he did with him?
The last at least 4 super matches I've watched, John's wrist is inverted on go. He goes like this, and his wrist is, you can't see it. His wrist is like this, and he's just back pressuring, and he's rolling with his wrist back. And it's almost like it's like a block. Like you think you have John's hand, and then as soon as you start to go sideways, he's just rolling out the back. It's really amazing what he's doing these days. It's not anything that I've ever seen John do before. It's tripping me out.
What did you think before that match? We all know that guy Pablo, dude, is just a tank, bro. Were you surprised that John made it look so easy?
I mean, it's John, so like we've kind of seen John as he's come back. Start the lower level guys, or not lower level, don't get me wrong, but he's kind of he's been testing the waters slowly. And if you've noticed, John's put on a little bit of weight, and now he's going after the bigger, heavier 240-pound plus guys, and John has been doing what he's doing right now since he was 18 years old. He's been beating guys like Richard Lepkus, the giants of our sport. So John knows how, better than anybody, how to pull these giants. So John's not intimidated by somebody with a big bicep, a big hand, or just the size in general. It's John Brzenk. What John has over everybody is hand control, right? I mean, he obviously proved against Zolov that his hook is still on a very, very elite level, and he beat Pablo in a hook. So he's showing that his power is coming back. He's not so much relying on just the hand. Now all the tools are coming back. So John Brzenk has turned into a scary, scary dude. And I think that loss to Devin really re-motivated John to go after possibly the top 5 super heavyweight rankings.
Now, did you get to see the left-hand match? Because I got to give it to Pablo on that. He made up for that right-hand loss with a very dominating left hand. It was just 1 round, but did you get to see that?
Yeah, I mean, Pablo obviously showed that he's probably as strong left-handed as he is right-handed. Pablo's left, I don't know him personally, know really much about his history, but his left arms like it's the deal. Because lately John kind of makes comments about his left arm's not really in shape, right? But what he also says is that John is probably really strong the first time he fucking pulls somebody, right? Like at practice, he probably has 1 or 2 really, really good matches left arm. And then it's just really not the same levels as right. Like he probably is, he's not, from the bits and pieces that I've heard, he's not really training left-handed, but it's still John Brzenk, right? So for Pablo to beat John as easily as he did with his left arm tells me that that dude's left arm is the real deal. Like, it's the real fucking deal. And I don't see too many guys at 240 pounds in North America even coming close to Pablo.
Yeah, so just so the subscribers will know, Pablo is ranked on a 242 class, both right hand and left arm, number 5 in North America. So he's definitely top elite with both arms. So I want to move on from there. Another big showing this past weekend was going down in Australia. We had a over the top 2 tournament, which just like you were saying earlier in our conversation, where you wanted to see more tournament pulling. That went down in Australia, and they brought it big. They put out a big cash prize for the overall. It was a 10K cash prize. And did you get to see Lachlan Adair? He won the whole tournament, won the 10K. It was a amazing match at the end. It was like something you would make a movie out of. He went against that guy. I don't know how I'm going to butcher up his name right now. Mate to wait or whatever. The big guy has a tattooed face up. It was 300 and something pounds, just giant guy. Did you get to see that video?
Yeah, Lachlan looked like a freak. That was an incredible win in the finals. Coming back from a losing position to get the 10 grand. Hats off to you, bro. That shit was legit. Should this left arm match against Pablo, I think it's going to be a lot closer than people think.
Yeah, so that's why I was bringing up both these guys. We got set for May 28th. It's going down in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We named it the Grand Slam Arm Wrestling event. We got a very cool venue. It's actually the LA Dodgers minor league ballpark stadium, the Tulsa Drillers. And Italia Arm Wrestling Promotions and Jim Coyle got together. And we are throwing a banger. And we just announced today, we just put out there that we got Pablo going to be pulling Lachlan Adair, left hand, best of 5. So also from that match, we also have your big match that I also want to talk about. You got a match going down. It's going against Eduardo Tete, who is ranked number 6 in North America, right behind you, which we all know that you're ranked number 5. So I kind of just wanted to get, first off, I wanted to get your thoughts of Lachlan versus Pablo. What do you think is going to happen between those two? And what's your prediction?
Oh, well, I think both of those human beings have incredible amount of strength. I follow Lachlan on Instagram, and I also follow Pablo, and I don't see as much training videos from Pablo as I do from Lachlan, but the videos that Lachlan does post, that he's doing things that most people his weight cannot do. It takes a lot for me to be impressed by a human being in the strength world, and that dude does shit that's incredible. And not to mention, Giannis is his training partner, which I think a lot of his current training regimen has to do with Giannis fine-tuning him to train correctly. So with that being said, I think with Lachlan coming off this big win and looking as big as he is, I'm just going to say that I don't want to just say that I think Lachlan's going to win because he's my dog, right? But I think it's a lot closer of a match than people are giving it credit. I think Lachlan is right in this match left-handed. I think it's going to go directly into a fucking grinder hook inside. And I think the guy with the most stamina is going to be victorious at the end.
The reason why I'm very excited about this match is we needed a good starting point. Lachlan's first match was against Toddzilla, which is kind of unfair. He's just coming on his 6th year in the sport, and throwing him in there against a legend like Toddzilla, who's one of the strongest men on the planet, pound for pound. It's very hard to judge where he was at. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to find somebody in his weight class. Pablo's weighing 242. They both look around the same height, both jacked, solid ass guys. And, Pablo being ranked number 5 with that left arm. So we're going to kind of get to know, is he ranked number 5 in the 242 class? Is he above that or is he below that? So I just felt like that was a good starting point. So that's why I locked in that match. Now,
Yeah.
going on to your match, brother, this one is exciting, bro. This is going to be a very interesting battle because we got two different styles going at it. Eduardo Tete is just, he is a monster. I mean, dude is a world champion. He's pulled all over the world. Recently, I think about a year back, he pulled Zaza in a super match. I think it went down over in Boston area or whatever. I know Jerry Caderet was the referee that day, and oh my God, I was just so impressed. Zaza being world class also, and extreme speed and all, and it was whoever would get the first jump, and Eduardo caught him a couple times, and I think he had to bring it to the strap each time, and when he would catch him, Zaza was not in a good position then, and Eduardo actually got the win that day. It was a real battle. I think it was like a 4-3 win or something. But it's very interesting. My question is I know you are known as Lightning Luke Kindt. Will your speed prevail that day?
I've watched. I call him Carlos because I knew him as Carlos before Eduardo. I don't know if that's like a nickname or his middle name or whatever, but I'll just call him Edward, make it simple. But I've been watching Edward pull for a very, very long time. From back in the early UAL days, he would come over here from Brazil, and he would walk through the majority of his class. And I've also seen him pull some world-class athletes like Zolov, right? And I've seen him beat Zolov at the practice table after the World Championships. So with that being said, like, guys that are hookers have told me that do not attack his arm, right? You're going to have to use hand control to win this match, which, no shit, right? It's very, very obvious that I cannot challenge his side pressure or his hook, like plain and simple, right? And it's not anything, it's very obvious. It's not anything shocking that I tell you that I'm going to control your hand, right? But as we all know, and as you have witnessed, that power doesn't mean shit in arm wrestling without your hand. Plain and simple. There are probably, out of all the arm wrestlers in the world, there's probably 1% can arm wrestle without their hand. And those are a very, very freakish, rare breed where they have the ability to go sideways without their wrist, right? You don't see it very often. So Eduardo is just not one of those guys that can arm wrestle without his hand. And he's very susceptible to losing when he doesn't have his hand, right? So I'm 185 pounds. I'll probably be closer to 190 for this event in the next 3 weeks, just because I'm trying to gain. I think Eduardo's, it got to be in like the mid 190s right now. I think he's cutting around 10 pounds to make the 187 weight class, the 187 weight cap. But I honestly, I know that I'm known as like this fast guy and like lightning or whatever, but I just feel like right now with all of, like, I always just judge how strong I'm going to be by a lot of my lifts, because as you know, I don't really practice anymore because I kind of have to choose, do I want to practice and be beat up 24/7, or do I want to train really hard? And the gains that I've noticed over the year have really come from the gym. They don't really come from table time for me. And it's weird to hear that for some of you guys that watch a lot of YouTube videos, because all you see are guys like Devin and John and all these dudes. All they do is arm wrestle, right? Well, I'm the exact opposite. I have not been on the table one time in 6 months, right? And to a lot of you guys that newbies like that, you can't really comprehend what that is, because I can't, because my elbow is so beat up. So the new guys, you guys need to learn how to arm wrestle, and you're going to get gains from the table. Me, I feel like my side pressure is kind of, I'm done training side pressure, like, completely. And that's another conversation for another day. But I'm winning 99% of my matches with my hand and back pressure. Like, I'm not using any side pressure to win my matches at all. And it's no surprise. People know where I'm going. The problem is can you control my hand before I control yours? And usually the answer is no. I mean, it's just plain and simple. That's what I do. Eduardo trains his hand. Trains his hook and his side pressure, right? I train my hand and my back pressure, right? So you have two elite strengths going head to head. And I think what's going to make the difference in the match is it could be speed. It could be the guy who gets to go. But I also think it's going to be a game of inches where whoever gets the advantage in the setup, whoever gets the buckle, whoever gets to go, like there's going to be a lot of little movements that are going to cause one of us to win the match. And I think it's going to be me.
Now, do you want it to go to a strap match, or you want it to no slipping at all?
It does not matter to me. I learned years ago how to arm wrestle Vazgen in the strap. It took me a long time because Vazgen is a very tricky arm wrestler, and he knows how to turn top rollers into a hook. That's why he was so successful all those years, is because Vazgen knows how to control somebody in the strap. And I've learned over the years, and you got to remember, if you practice with me, if you look, it's very rare to see me on the table without the strap on. All I do is train the strap. For years and years and years, 20 years, all I've done is train the strap. Arm wrestling, or the practice with the arm bender, is practice with Eric. It's all been in the strap. So it's hard. I have yet to meet somebody that has such a superior hand over me at my weight class that they're able to control me really inside or out, with maybe the exception of like with Giannis. But other than that, I'm usually the guy in control, not the one being controlled.
Okay. Well, I also wanted to make a big announcement right now for the May 28th Grand Slam Arm Wrestling event. I know I didn't tell you we were going to do this right now, but I wanted to announce the main event going down at Home Plate that day for all the subscribers. So we're going to have Austin Jaggers, who we all know has just won the Arnold, and he just won a big tournament in Kentucky, very dominant fashion, undefeated. We are going to have him pull in Lachlan Adair, and it's going to be a right-hand match, best of 5, and this is going to be real interesting because we know that Austin, I think, is ranked, I think it's number 11 in North America in the Super. So we know that, Lachlan's in the 242 range or whatever, so he definitely has got his hands full. He's going to be pulling up. I think Austin's weighing around 290 right now. It's definitely going to be a test. So what are you expecting from that, bro?
Well, first of all, Austin Jagger, just won the Arnold. And it was funny because I was hanging out with him backstage and I was like, dude, no offense, but I didn't know who you were and you just won the Arnold. He's like, dude, you're fucking Luke Kent, woo! And it was just cool, He's just he's smoking herb and just super cool, chill dude, but mega strong on the fucking table. Blew me away with how strong he was. Don Underwood, I lost you.
Yeah, there you go.
Don Underwood, no easy task. I was talking to Don before the event. I'm like, dude, he was the favorite to me. Don Underwood is got wins on some of the best super heavyweights in the world. Don to me is always the man to beat when he's at the table. And that day, just Austin was the man. But if Austin pulls the way he did at the Arnold, Lachlan's gonna have some trouble. Styles make matchups, and that's the weirdest thing about arm wrestling is you can have Lachlan pull Todd Hutchins, right, and get destroyed, and then you can see Todd Hutchins pull Corey and destroy Corey, and you're now your mind is really blown, and now Lachlan feels better about himself because he literally just lost to a guy who beat a 400-pound gorilla. You're well, I suck. That dude's a freak. All right, we get it, dude. You're the best. And then you see Corey beat Casimir, and you're man, what's going on right now? It's so many different styles and matchups. You really don't know what you're gonna get. It's really hard to it's really hard to make an accurate assessment on a match when you don't really, they've never pulled each other, and it could really go either way. But I feel it's a very equal matchup as far as talent is concerned.
So it's definitely going to be a good match, and I'm curious to see, will the weight make a difference? Because we all know that Austin's going to have probably about 40 pounds on Lachlan. You think that'll have a factor on the match?
At that weight, I mean, I don't know. I mean, when we're talking about like Devin versus Levon, like 380 pounds versus 280, like at that point, like, okay, at that level, I think it might make a difference. But at the heavyweight level, like what is Austin weigh? Like 270, 280?
290 right now.
Yeah, see, again, like I've pulled a lot of guys that are really big that you can't really just judge a book by its cover. Like I think that Lachlan's like elite at that weight. Like he just got a really bad draw and pulling Todd Hutchins. Like we really don't know how strong Lachlan is because you can't really judge the dude on his loss to Todd. I mean, for fuck's sake, he beat Jerry Parrott in a hook, right? Like he would have beat Devin if Devin wasn't a cheater, right? If it wasn't for the fucking King's move, like Todd proved that he was stronger than Devin Lorette that day. Like, take it however you want to take it. I'm just like, I have yet to see somebody fucking legitimately beat Todd Hutchins and power for power in a very long time. So you can't judge Lachlan off of one match against Todd Hutchins because, I mean, for fuck's sake,
Well, what's also going to be very cool about this match in particular, what we're doing is the ballpark actually opens up at 6 p.m. to the public. They got a big Tulsa Drillers game going down at 7 p.m. And we all know it's Memorial Day weekend, so this is going to be a big game. Lots of people come in. So we are actually doing the main event is going down at home plate. It's going to be going at 6:30 p.m. So we're hoping that the stadium's going to be jam-packed. We're going to have a bunch of non-arm wrestlers going to be able to watch this match, which, we both got two huge characters right there. We got Austin, 290 pounds. He's got the tattoos. He's got that badass look. And then we all know Lachlan. I mean, he looks like he could be on a bodybuilding stage, ripped abs, 250 pounds solid. And we're actually going to be viewing it on the Jumbotron screen in center field. So this is going to be a very, very cool venue. You guys can all check it out on my live feed. It'll be on my YouTube channel. All I ask for is subscribe to my channel. I'm not asking for pay-per-view or anything. I'm giving back to this to the arm wrestling community on this big event. We also got a big tournament going on that day, which I'm giving 100% of the money taken in for entry fees. I'm giving back to the cash prizes of the pro class. So this is going to be a big tournament. Please make the trip. We also got an event going on Friday night at the early weigh-ins. We put together 5 super matches, which we got some real good ones going down. Let me tell you a little about that. We got Cody Dollar. He's going to be pulling Uncle John, which that's going to be a good match. We also got the Battle of the Giants, which is the main event for Friday night. And we got Matt Sartori, 6'6", Matt Sartori. I think he's around 400 pounds. He actually broke one of my scales at our last tournament in Tulsa, Oklahoma, about 8 months back. He's going to be pulling big 6'6" BJ Fakak. So that's going to be the Battle of the Giants. That's the main event of that night. We also have another one set up. We got Matt Rundle, Lincoln Munger, and we also have JJ Tolton. He will be pulling Chris Meadows, and that's going to be for the number 1 spot, right hand in the 242 class in Oklahoma. So definitely, guys, check this out. Make sure to subscribe to my channel. If you can make the trip, come on through Memorial Day weekend. Going to be lots and lots of arm wrestling and lots of fun.